Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 19th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. For 6 decades, they've been doing great things in San Diego County. We are thrilled to have on with us today. We're doing a special remote edition of our Spotlight show from the USS Midway Museum, and that's Jack Gale. He is director of the USS Midway Museum's volunteer Docent program. How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing great.
That's a big job you got, man.
Yeah, it is. I was once happily retired and failed out of retirement and took a job.
That's right. And a great one as it is. Joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She's the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. in Liberty Station. Honored to have her, my co-host, approaching 2 years, Kristen.
2 years. Let's have a party.
And you're still coming back for more.
I know, yeah. Jack had cake this morning. Where was my cake?
It's in the car.
Oh, okay.
It's been there for about 3 weeks.
Okay,
so we'll go ahead and get that out of there.
Fantastic.
You got a question for Jack? I know you do.
Yeah. So, Jack, we were talking a little bit about this beforehand, but how did you find yourself in this role?
So I retired in the Bay Area, and our son was going to San Diego State.
Okay.
And we came down here and decided to bring him aboard an aircraft carrier and see what it was like. And once I got aboard, I thought, this is something I could do.
Yeah.
And so I started out volunteering in the air wing, restoring the aircraft and working on them. And after a few months, one of the co-volunteers there said, "You like to talk a lot. We'll make you a docent." And I've been a docent ever since.
So tell us what docenting aboard the Midway looks like.
So it's common docents in a lot of museums are handed a script and they say, stand here and read this script and tell this about the museum. Our previous CEO actually made a point of telling us not to do that. He tells us to go tell your stories, bring the ship to life, tell the public what it was like to serve in the Navy aboard ship. And we have now docents from actually all wakes of life, all the services, school teachers, pharmacists, but they all have a story to tell.
Yeah.
And we enjoy telling it to the guests that come aboard.
Okay.
And so you're a veteran.
I am a veteran.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
How many years?
27 years.
And where were you?
I did a lot. I served 2 years ship's company on the USS Ranger, but most of my career was spent as a flight crewman. And I retired. I was a P-3 flight engineer on the big ASW anti-submarine warfare aircraft, and achieved the title. I was actually a master chief and a command master chief. So
congratulations! Yeah.
Well, he's got some acronyms in there, so I believe him.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's we were just talking about it on the last podcast.
We try not to. We try not to.
Parcel.
Here.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't, then I'm not sure if you got too much cred.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He is for real.
So, how many docents are there?
We actually have over 800 total volunteers.
Oh, my goodness.
Right, total volunteers.
Volunteers, and of that, 461 of them are docents.
Okay, so about more than half are yours.
Yeah, more than half.
How often are they volunteering?
So we obviously are open 7 days a week, and we have a morning shift and an afternoon shift, and we typically get between 20 and up to 40 docents that volunteer for each shift.
Wow.
So 60 to 80 a day.
Okay.
7 days a week. Out of 461, usually in a given month, 280 to 300 of them are active that sign up. Most of us are volunteers. Are retired.
Right.
Average age of the docents is 76.
Okay. So nice.
It's been described as the biggest senior daycare center in Southern California.
That's amazing. I love it. How fun to daycare here. Is it hard to meet that 20 to 30? That's a lot of folks to try to
It is.
Yeah.
It is a challenge. We do a lot of good things for them. We give them free tickets to hand out. That's their pay.
Nice.
We have a couple of events. We have a huge dinner in August coming up that's catered on the flight deck. It's a docent recognition event.
Oh, nice.
And all paid for.
Wonderful. That's great. So when you're typically recruiting for docents, where do you go? What do you do? How do people hear about it?
We actually, when the Midway started, when the museum started, and a few years ago, probably 80% of our docents were veterans. That has dropped down to about 50% in our classes. Just the demographic is changing in San Diego. And we recruit wherever we can. Word of mouth is best. The best docents we get are docents referred by other docents.
That's
Now, when they do this, is there a certain specialty they like to be? I want to be doing the aircraft. I want to be doing the simulators. I want to put me by the theater or whatever. Or they should know everything.
They should know everything because no matter where you are, somebody's going to come up and ask you about the aircraft taking off or something, or
Right.
So you should know everything, and we try to give the docents. We try and assign them wherever they want to go.
Right.
And I mean, my time was an aircraft mechanic and flight crew, and I love to go down to the engine room because it's just a fun place to talk to the guests.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what sort of training is involved, or how do you kind of onboard them and catch them up to speed with? I mean, this is massive. How do you learn about all of that?
We have an 8-week class.
Okay.
And it's really a good training program. The candidates come in on Monday morning from 7 o'clock until about 1 o'clock. And it's strictly classroom, homework assigned, quizzes every week.
Wow.
And then they schedule one day during the week. So they've broken the ship into 8 general areas. And like engineering, they will talk to them about engineering, and it's a fire hose down your throat all day on Monday.
I was just going to say.
Yeah. And then they come back, though, on Wednesday, Thursday, whatever day they want, and we assign them one-on-one with one of the instructors to go to that area and walk through and, reinforce what they learned, the information that was given to them on Monday. It's a great program. It's very difficult. Most of our candidates are retired. So you really notice how your brain is maybe deteriorated a little bit, and it's a lot harder to learn as you get older. But they get through it. And if they try, if they really work at it, we get them through.
Okay.
No, I think that's great. And what is the person that's been here the longest as a docent?
We have, I think, 2 docents still that were in docent class number 1 back in 2004.
Oh my goodness.
We have docents in their 90s.
Next question was, I was going to ask, how old is your oldest docent?
So we have a docent who was a World War II veteran.
Oh my goodness.
He lied about his age to get into the Navy in World War II.
Oh my goodness.
And he talks about, he's about to have a birthday. And he said, I'm almost 97, which means the Navy thinks I'm 98.
That's incredible. Okay, we're live here. So what does the bell mean for all us?
The bow is the front of the ship.
The bell.
But the bell.
The bell.
Oh, the bell is, so the Navy uses a bell, and it rings, our standard watches at sea are 4 hours long.
Okay.
So every half hour, there's a bell.
Okay.
So when you start your watch, it's the first half hour is 1 bell.
Okay.
And then 2 bells is the hour, and up to 8 bells is 4 hours. And then your relief shows up.
Okay.
So your watches could be starting at noon, 4, 8, or midnight. But you don't care. When you're out at sea, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a 4-hour watch is what you live by.
It's like a whole city here. I feel like, a whole set of rules and there's so many people that we haven't even talked about how many people work here in general. Do you know those numbers?
I know some of them.
Okay.
You mean now we're in active duty?
How many people work aboard the Midway? So we know that we have about 800 volunteers. How many staff are there?
There are. I'm not positive of the number.
No, you can make it up. It's fine.
Like,
we'll go back and post.
I'm a docent. It's just part
of
Sure. We're used to that. I think there's about 250 staff.
Oh my gosh.
And of those, it's like half are full-time and half are just part-time.
That's nuts.
Well, I mean, listen, there's always something to be done on the ship.
Yeah.
There's always something to be fixed, to put on.
The events,
to,
the education,
you name it, a new
everything.
exhibit, and so forth. Now, will the docents be involved with the exhibits at all to explain what they are?
Okay. Absolutely.
Right.
We typically have 26 assigned stations around the ship that we go to. A couple of them right across the way in the information booth. And they're in a lot of the major exhibits. And they'll stand there, and we don't just tell you about the exhibit. We tell you what went on in there and what the sailors did in there, and oftentimes what they did, what their role was.
And so with a new exhibit, because you have a new exhibit that's coming up, the 27th, do they have to go through this whole learning process all over again, or how does that work?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The new one coming up is, I just heard a number. It's the Carrier Intelligence Center.
Right.
And one of the docents was just saying that less than 2% of the ship ever got to go in there.
Yeah.
I was not part of that 2%. I have never been in a Navy Intelligence Center.
No, Terry was telling us that because he spent time in that, as you well know. So, I think that's it's fascinating. And, one of the things I've heard throughout the years, I've been working with the Midway for quite a while. Scott McGaugh. Scott's wonderful. He's written several books on the Midway. Now he's on his 12th historical book, for God's sake. Wow. But just always talks about how much you enjoy this. Once you get somebody hooked into a docent, they like to stay, do they not?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, we have docents that started in 2004 and are still coming in.
And with that, I think Terry was telling me, and you can corroborate this, of course, a lot of the docents were veterans, but some of them had nothing to do with serving, correct?
Correct, absolutely. One of our talks that we do is up on the catapult and how we launch the planes. And one of the best descriptions of that I have heard was one of our docents who was an HR person and a school teacher. And she does it without any acronyms, and she explains it so that all the guests understand it. In fact, we send some of the pilots especially up and say, go listen to her, give her talk,
That is so cool. And so when you are a guest here, do you get a list of the talks that are coming for the day, or is it just kind of you get there and it's happening? And
Exactly. Okay. We have an audio tour that the guests get. You see some of them walking around with a little device around their neck. They can go up to all the exhibits and they hold it up to it. There's a chip in it.
Wow.
And it can be in 6 different languages.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever done the audio tour?
I think I have, but I've been very fortunate because I've had some folks like Scott McGaugh and Mac McLaughlin.
All the people.
Yes.
You don't need an audio tour. That's for the rest
they just take me to areas where some people aren't allowed to go to. So that's good.
That's pretty fun.
I'm sure Jack has been to it as well. What I was going to ask you, what is your most favorite spot on the ship?
I really enjoy working in the engine room. It's just a fun place to describe, what went on down there and what the sailors went through that work down there. I know that had I joined the Navy and they told me to work in an engine room, I'd have done 4 years and gotten out.
Dangerous place.
And it's hot and humid.
Yes.
And,
Yes, exactly. We're chatting with Jack Gale. He's the director at the USS Midway Museum's volunteer docent program. 800 total volunteers, about 400 of them being the docents, right? Exactly. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast in our 19th year. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, doing great things in our community, whether it's food insecurity, it's financial literacy, art. They're heavily involved, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She is the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. In your second year of co-hosting with me, and I'm honored to have you do it.
It's a big deal. I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah. Well, listen, what's really cool, we get to meet guys like Jack and see all the work that they're doing. So, with the other volunteers, you do the docents and then they're volunteers. Are they doing things to help restore? Are they working with Steve on that? He has some volunteers that work with him and everything in between.
Right. There are, of that 800, I mean, most of them are docents, but the safeties that walk around, there's a couple hundred in our safety department. And they're made up of ex-law enforcement and also a lot of doctors and medical folks. So if somebody goes down or has an accident on here, we usually have a doctor available within just
because
minutes.
it's a small city. I mean, this place is incredible. Yeah.
Well, and its heyday, what they have, how many sailors were on here? I want to say
4,500.
Yeah, I was going to say close to 5,000. I mean, that's
incredible.
It is a city, without question. And when you think about all the moving parts, to say the least, this because you chat about those, it's just amazing.
Absolutely.
That this beast of a edifice sort of. How fast does the Midway go when it was deployed?
So to launch an airplane, you have to have 30 knots of wind across the flight deck. So in a perfectly calm day, the ship would have to do 30 knots. So it could do in excess of 30 knots, which is...
How fast is it? I mean, how long does it take to get to 30 knots?
It takes a while to get there.
I was going to say, there's got to be
When it does get up to 30 knots, the whole ship is kind of shuddering in the water, and there's a rooster tail that almost goes up to the flight deck behind the ship when it goes that fast.
Wow.
Have you been on a ship that's done that?
I was on the Ranger when we went through sea trials coming out of an overhaul, and they did that, Yeah,
exactly. Can you ever have too many docents? And the answer is no, I'm sure.
No, absolutely not.
Right. Is there a waiting list? Or anyone who wants to be a docent, they do the 8-week program?
Absolutely. Anybody that's out there listening that is interested in being a docent on the Midway, come see us.
Okay, good. We're going to continue the conversation with Jack Gale. He is the director of USS Midway Museum's volunteer docent program. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. All right, listen to our edition of our Spotlight on the Community Show brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Thrilled to be chatting with Jack Gale. He's the director of the USS Midway Museum's volunteer docent program. We are on the Midway. If you hear some of the ambient noise, we have crowds, throngs soon to be coming in on this beautiful Friday, June the 13th, joined by my colleague, Kristen Fogel. She's been co-hosting the Spotlight in the Community Show with me for getting into her second year. Fascinating stuff we're learning today on the Midway.
I know, it's spectacular. I'm curious, when someone comes here for the first time, what are a few kind of must-sees?
So one of the things that we always point out to folks is right up in front of us here, the Battle of Midway Theater.
I know. Tell me about that. It just says theater, and it's probably not my type of theater, but I want to know
when
more.
It was built.
Yeah. So have you seen the 2-hour movie Battle of Midway?
No.
You haven't seen that one? I was going to say take all the love scenes out, and that's the 15 minutes left here. But
okay.
It's a documentary, an award-winning documentary. It's won several short documentary awards.
Okay.
And it even has, when they talk about Admiral Nimitz, you see Admiral Nimitz comes out as a hologram, and you see him on the side of the stage.
Cool.
Very cool.
But it's a really, really accurate, very good description of the Battle of Midway.
Okay. And it's just playing on rotation?
And it's every half hour.
Every half hour. Okay.
Yep.
Great.
So it was, Terry Kraft, the CEO of the USS Midway Museum, flew off of the Midway, and we know that. How many of the docents or volunteers also flew off the Midway or worked on the Midway?
out of the 800, I would guess maybe 10% or so.
That's a big number.
It's a pretty good size number. We have quite a few that actually were on the Midway.
Right. And I imagine folks who have been on the Midway, whether they're working for us or they're coming in and visiting, must be blown away when they see this.
Oh, yeah.
And probably the first time since they were on as a sailor, correct?
Yep.
Well, talk about some of those experiences when you hear stories from them.
So what's really neat, though, isn't the sailors that come back aboard. I mean, they...
Spouses?
See, exactly. The spouses that the TripAdvisor reviews and stuff usually start out with, I really didn't want to go, but my spouse drugged me aboard this warship.
Yeah.
And I was blown away by the way the sailors learned and lived and learning some of the facts. 4,500 sailors, average age is 19. But guess how much food they ate a day?
See here, 19-year-old sailors, I don't know, 1 ton a day?
Right.
That's actually 13,500 meals if they eat 3 meals a day.
Oh, my goodness.
But you could go, if they were serving something you liked, you could just go and get in line again if you had time from your job.
Wow.
But, I mean, it was upwards of 12 to 15 tons a day of food.
Oh.
Crazy.
Well, you're feeding 4,500 plus folks.
Yeah.
And there's so many different moving parts with that, as well. You guys have always got some new things coming up. We're talking about the intelligence exhibit coming up in there, and there's probably some more under Terry's hat and all that business. Do you folks, as docents, even make some volunteer recommendations for new exhibits?
So, great story.
Yes.
We had a docent a few years ago went up to our previous CEO and said, I got a great idea. He said, sailors, a lot of sailors, bosun's mates and stuff tie knots. And he said, let's start a knot team and let's start selling keychains and different knots, macrame type stuff. And he said, we'll give the proceeds of whatever we sell to high school kids to go to college. That has funded over $1 million now. And we've got 45 people in our knot team that sit at home, and then they come in on the weekends and stuff when there's a big crowd here, and they sell their
wow.
So, we had heard from Terry about the knots, but I didn't know that was based on a docent suggestion.
It was a docent suggestion
so
to start
cool.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Right. So there's certainly a lot of folks from out of town that visit this place. And they must have a different perspective than some of the folks that have lived here and, of course, have been here before. What are some of the interesting questions you get from the people who are visiting for the first time?
I mean, how long are you at sea? That's a typical.
Or does it still sail? Does anyone ever ask that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, all the time. Yeah. If things get really bad, is the Midway going to go back to sea?
I was going to say,
no.
Okay.
No.
Right. Exactly. So, and again, how many people have a chance to be on an aircraft carrier, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Not many. And we're pretty spoiled by that. So, we talked a little bit about what it takes to be a docent. You do an 8-week course, right?
Yep.
Are all the volunteer opportunities 8-week courses, or just the docents?
Just the docents.
Right,
Okay.
right.
The rest of them, our safety has a short training period that they go through, but a lot of the teams, like the Air Wing, the Restore, they just start. Once they volunteer, they get a short safety brief and orientation to the ship, but mostly they just start working.
And who are the instructors that are leading these docent programs?
We have a great team of instructors that lead it. The head guy is an XF4 Phantom pilot.
Okay.
That's another thing is that suggestions and stuff from them. We have, out of that 400, there are 64, 65 of them that are 06s or captains and colonels that were all commanding officers.
Wow.
And they're all more than willing to tell you how to do your job.
I'm sure.
So we get a lot of suggestions.
Yeah. Need a shipside suggestion box for this bunch. Yeah.
Well, listen, what a great job for someone who wants to be a docent. Obviously, you're giving back to the community because people love this iconic ship. You folks have done so well. You do support a lot of nonprofits. We talked to Terry about that, and of course, Mac was heavily involved in that. Mac McLaughlin, the first and former CEO in this area. What would you say to the folks that this is why you should be on this ship?
Oh, it's a great opportunity, especially into retirement. It gives you something to do. Like I said, we jokingly we're the largest adult daycare center.
I love that.
However, there's a lot of that's kind of a serious thing. Is we attract and maintain a lot of folks that this gives them a purpose. It gives them something to do and purpose, and they just really look forward to coming in here.
Yeah, we talk about this quite a bit. As Kristen knows, on our show, we work with senior groups, serving seniors in St. Paul's Senior Services and so forth. And we know one of the greatest, challenges of seniors is isolation.
Yep.
And, they don't have family here. They're housebound. And think about that. That's, we like to be around people. What a great opportunity to come here.
And we accommodate. We have docents in wheelchairs. We have docents
I was going to ask about that, how handicap accessible it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. We do take care of, as long as we possibly can, we keep them coming aboard.
That's great.
Yeah. So as we wrap up the program here, Jack, any final comments?
No, like I said, any listeners out there that want to volunteer for a great cause, come down to the Midway and talk to us.
Yeah, and as you know, Kristen, it's a great vibe, from Terry on down, the CEO. And it's always been that way when Mac was here also. People they love what they do on this Midway, whether they're being a docent, volunteer, or whether they're working in restoration like Steve was doing, or working in education. There's just so many wonderful opportunities. And Jack, can't thank you enough for coming on. And
thank you.
Kristen, any other questions?
No, thanks for all the good work you do, and I can't wait to explore more.
Yeah, there's a lot
fascinating.
There's a lot to explore. We've been chatting with Jack Gale, director of USS Midway Museum's volunteer docent program. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Listen to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 19th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. 6 decades of doing great things in our region. So Jack Gale and Kristen Foco, thank you so much. And to our audience, we hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.